So you've probably heard this story before. It's the tortoise and the hare. Peter, I bet you've been told this story before because you're a rabbit, which is very similar to a hare, right? Anyway, so this is a classic story that I have for you today. So I don't know that it happened this way, but I do know that it's true. That long ago and far away there lived a village that was entirely composed of animals, very smart and caring animals who lived just like people do. And in this village, there was a tortoise who was very careful in everything that he did, but often took a long time to get places. And there was a hare, and the hare, oh, Peter, I bet you've heard about this hare, right? He could move so fast. He was always running everywhere, going as fast as he could, right? And the tortoise and the hare, that you might not believe it, were like best friends. They were always doing things together. And sometimes this worked out really well, especially when the tortoise forgot something at home, the hare would go run and get it for him, which would be very great. Although sometimes the hare would get distracted coming back, right? And the tortoise was always there when the hare had something to talk through and would always listen really well. Well, one day, and we don't need to know why, right? They had a big argument about the best way to get places, right? And they decided they were going to have a race. Now, everybody in town was like, "What do you mean you're going to have a race, tortoise and hare? You don't need to make your friendship a competition." And also, like, the hare is really fast, right? But they were going to do it. They were going to do it. So they set out a course. Here's the start line. Here's the finish line way back on the other side of the village, and they got someone to do the start. They get there, and the hare is off, so fast, blazing ahead, and the tortoise is just going at his tortoise speed. He's gonna get there. He's gonna get there, and the hare goes tearing off, and he's running so fast. He's like, I don't even need to worry about the tortoise. He's not gonna catch up, right? So I can just do what I need to do. So he climbs a tree at one point on this, and then he falls out of the tree, and he gets kind of bruised, and it hurts. So now he's not running so fast, right? Because he stopped to climb a tree, and he fell down, and he hurt himself. And at one point, he's not looking where he's going, and he bowls over poor Mrs. Stegosaurus, who was actually, of course, as we all know, not a Stegosaurus, but a small bear. Anyway, Mrs. Stegosaurus the bear, he knocked over poor old Mrs. Stegosaurus the bear, and he's having a tough time. And meanwhile, the tortoise is plodding along. He's saying hi very nicely to people. People are getting out of the tortoise's way as he goes along. He stops and picks up poor Mrs. Stegosaurus the bear, and anyway, he's just going and he's going, and the hare, meanwhile, is getting into even more trouble because he doesn't look where he's going and he doesn't think, right? He's just in a hurry. He's got to be the fastest. He's got to just do everything he can possibly do. So at this point, he's like not trying to just win the race, but also like trying to win a bunch of other competitions that he's made up in his head. Like he's doing all of these extra things along the way. At one point, he's like hula hooping, he jumps rope, and the thing is that he keeps like falling down too. So by the time the tortoise is getting towards the finish line, the hare has been like going really fast all day, but he's nowhere near the finish line because at this point he's limping from the time he fell down the tree. He stubbed his toe playing rope. He hula hooping. He managed to like hit himself in the. I don't even know how he did this. He hit himself in the eye with the hula hoop. And so finally, the hare comes limping up to Tortoise, who is waiting for him at the finish line, and says, "Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, Tortoise, what were we even doing today?" And Tortoise is like, "Well, I think you were having a race with me. I was having a nice careful saunter. This is where we were trying to get today, and now we're both here. But sometimes I think, Hare, it would be good if you slowed down with me a little bit. Sometimes the best way to get someplace isn't as fast as you can get there. Sometimes you gotta breathe and slow down, bud." And Hare looks down at his stubbed toe and he touches his sore shoulder and the spot where he hit himself with the hula hoop and he says, "You know, buddy, I think you're right. I think you're right. I think sometimes it would be better to go at the speed of Tortoise. I'm going to try that sometimes." And the two friends went off and had an ice cream sundae to celebrate their friendship. And that is our story for today.